Okay, YouTube again. Why not? Welcome back to another kind of mystery cube series. This time around, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be a retrobrighting thing. Now, it's not just clickbait. I've always been curious about what it would take to retrobright, and I never had a chance to do it because most of the cubes that I get, just for whatever reason, aren't yellow. But as you can see, this recent batch goes kind of from good to, oh my God. So the story here is that I got these as part of two different lots. I actually think this is the way that I received them. I think that these two came in one lot and these two came in a different one. I got these off of Shop Goodwill. Again, that place, typically the deals are better, but then the shipping really gets you. They have pretty strict FedEx shipping, and it is pretty expensive. So I ended up all told paying, I think, just under $40 a piece for each of these, and then like about $30 a piece for each of these. So a piece for each of these. So these ended up, all of this ended up averaging out to about $35 a piece, which is fine. It's a fine deal. It's not a great deal. I've gotten some for $20, but you just play the game and you buy them when you feel like it, and sometimes you pay a little more, sometimes you pay a little less. Again, the whole point of this experiment, this whole like kind of massive GameCube renovation restoration experiment for me, is just to get these back out into the wild, looking and playing as best they can. I'm doing this at cost. If I make a little money, why not? But I always put it right back into buying and repairing more cubes. There's materials and time involved here. So I am going to quickly give you a close-up of each of these. So you can see this is more or less what a normal GameCube should look like. I mean, minus the kind of crusty stains on this one, but that's the kind of reference color. So as we go, you'll notice this one is not quite the same. I'll pull out and you can see them in the same shot, right? And then it gets a little bit worse, and you can see the spots. See how this cover isn't yellowed and this one is, I guess depending on which way it was facing in the room or whatever. And then of course this one is just awful. It looks like it was been in a smoking bar for 20 years. So the goal here is to try to retrobright these as best I can. I've had some success. So I did a little test on this one, which is one that I got just kind of the normal way. And as you can see, it wasn't perfect, but it's more or less the color it needs to be. It was, for reference, somewhere close to this one in terms of color when I got it. So I did quite a bit here. And what I ended up doing with this is I just put it in bleach outside for, I don't know, a day. And it really did a good job. Bleach is sometimes not recommended because it can yellow, or rather it can make the plastic brittle. But in this case, it's a pretty hardy component of the GameCube, and maybe I took a risk. I've got spare parts. I could have always swapped it out, but that gave me the confidence to try the experiment today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off these three faceplates, and then I'm going to test bleach again on this one, which I know works. So it will obviously do the minor job. And I'm gonna put these two in hydrogen peroxide. These are the two methods that I've seen work in the past. So what I'll do is I'll just do some movie magic here to remove these, and then we'll check back in when I'm putting them in in their baths. So, okay, here we are. So all of the faceplates have been removed. This is my first time opening up all of these, and I was a little curious to see if the insides reflected the outsides, because everyone knows, I think at this point, that this is not a dirt. It's more of a UV exposure that yellows the plastic. But this one in particular seemed like it was so egregious that I thought maybe this had been a smoker's. Because every once in a while, I've gotten electronics that I've attempted to fix that smell like cigarettes that have just been in somebody's home that's a smoker. But I was pleased to see that each of these was pretty clean inside, with the odd, cobweb and dust bunny. So here they all are removed, and I'm gonna check back in when I'm preparing their little baths, and then we will continue. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'll get rid of this guy. I'm going to place this one in bleach, like I said. So this glass bowl is a good option there. And then I will put these two in this larger plastic container. Bleach, I don't know much about bleach. I know bleach is pretty harmful. I don't know if it would eat through or damage plastic, which is or cause some sort of chemical reaction, which is why I'm using bleach in the glass and hydrogen peroxide in the in the plastic one. So I've got some Brand X bleach here. I'm going to just fill this until it covers the top and then some a little bit. And then it's a little more viscous than I'm used to. I wonder if I got the right bleach. I think I did. And then I have some hydrogen peroxide here that I will fill this. Hopefully I've got enough. I may have to go to a smaller container if I don't have enough. Oh no, I've got enough. So this one will cover it almost, and then this one will do the rest of the job. And the theory here is that the UV rays, somehow, the UV rays are what cause the yellowing of the plastic, but their interaction with strong oxidizers like hydrogen peroxide somehow will bleach the plastic back more close to its original color. I'm not a scientist. I could ask a couple of scientists that I know, but I'm just not going to. So this seems to float, which we'll see if that's a problem. I don't think it was. It wasn't a problem when I did the bleach earlier. It didn't seem to be a problem. It just kind of floated near the surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, transfer it outside to a sunny spot, and then cover it with a little bit of plastic film to stop it from evaporating in the heat. And then I'll give you one final look at it, and then I'll check back this afternoon after a lot of sun time so you can get some context, and then I might leave it out overnight and then try it again tomorrow for the especially bad stuff, assuming this works like it used to. And this, I don't know, my first time doing it. So let's learn together. Give me 1 second and I'll get this outside. All right, so it's a beautiful sunny day today, and here are the containers. One last look at them so you can get some reference out here in the sun. Hopefully they'll get consistent sun for another 3 or 4 hours. Okay, here's a quick update after day one. I put these out around midday, and it is now like 6 p.m. so the sun is kind of retreated a little bit. The one in the bleach seems to be doing pretty well. I'm gonna leave it out for another day just to be sure, but it looks to me like it's just about done. So I'll leave this overnight, and then I'll do it in the morning. And then these, they're in the hydrogen peroxide, are looking better. So I put little rocks on them to keep them under the water, because the hydrogen peroxide releases lots of little bubbles that make things float. And so I've kind of had to weigh them down, but they both look whiter. So just to give you a bit of comparison, and I'll flash up some sort of callback to where they were earlier in the day when I put them in there. So I think it's worked. Heat and direct sunshine. So I'm gonna leave these for overnight, and then sometime around midday tomorrow, after another 4 or 5 hours of sunlight, we'll see how we did. Hey, just a quick update. This is day 3. We got some sun after some torrential downpours, but I pulled number 2 out. It looks great, and number 3 is getting there. You can see it's still a little yellow, so I'll give it as much time as I can today, and we'll come take a look at it later. All right, here's the final update for the GameCube Retrobrighting. Outside, I'll put it all together on the inside, obviously, but it looks to me like it's a beautiful day today. I finally got a good amount of sunshine, and it looks to me like this last GameCube faceplate is in great shape. Obviously, there's a little scuff there that you couldn't even see under all that yellowing, but yeah, looks great. You'll notice I bought a Super Nintendo controller for another project that I figured, since I had this bath already ready, just arrived today, I'll just throw it in there. So you can see it's pretty yellow. It should look more like this color, which the back is a little yellow, so I'm putting it in there too. But I figured, why not? I've already got the setup, so why waste good hydrogen peroxide? So so yeah, that's the retrobrighting for this done. And then yeah, here in a second I'll put them all together. But this worked really well. It just took a long time. You just need sunlight and hydrogen peroxide, and it looks great. Okay, so here is the update on the GameCubes. I'll try to flash up a still image of what these looked like before, but as you can see, they are really, truly in much better shape. I left the memory card slots the way that I found them. I totally didn't forget to remove them and retrobright them at the same time. But actually, this ends up looking really stark. The contrast between the faceplate as it exists now and the original. So I'm gonna get the light off of it. It's a little harsh, but yeah, look at that. So the entirety of the faceplate was this color right here, and here it is. I also had a bit of a brain fart when I was looking at these earlier. Of course, these are going to be less yellowed because the memory card itself was stuck in them. And then of course the area underneath, if you look back at the still image or at the beginning of the video, the area where it says slot A was always less yellowed because the light was coming downwards at it typically. And so not only was this tucked inside, safe from the light, but then the area underneath it was shaded. So that's it. The cubes have been retrobrighted. So I'll go ahead and I'll finish off and do the memory card covers. But that, I'd say that was successful. Just as a debrief, this is the one that I used the bleach on. And, you know, I read some stuff and I think there's not a real consensus on like whether that's good for it or not. Obviously it didn't, you know, explode, but I think it's pretty harsh. Bleach is kind of like a harsh option. The hydrogen peroxide took a couple of days. It took a couple of really good sunny days, probably a good 5 or 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. I just had some spotty weather here. It's springtime in the Southeast. And so, you know, it just kind of rains. But with that direct sunlight and a good hydrogen peroxide bath, I mean, here they are. It's pretty miraculous. So yeah, that's my kind of retrobrighting adventure done. Thanks for tuning in. And this hopefully was a lot of fun because I had a lot of fun doing it.